What's up, guys? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one, I want to break down what's happening with Tesla SPY in the overall market. Just note that I'm not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire community as a whole. Anyways, for Tesla, we're holding up very well so far. We held above our 20 EMA, and we're looking pretty nice so far, approaching some big data. But the question is, what data is coming out? How could this affect the markets? And what news is coming out for Tesla? So I want to talk about the news and data first before I break down more details about these charts. Just know that for today, it's Tuesday, October 1st, 2024. Happy October, everyone. The holiday season is back. I just want to say that, excuse me, so far we have some important data that's coming out. At 9:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 15 minutes after the market opens, we have the S&P Global Manufacturing PMI report. Might cause some volatility, so look for that 15 minutes after open for today. But the main time to look for volatility is going to be 10 o'clock a.m. That is 30 minutes after the market opens today, guys. Watch for this data. We have the JOLTS job openings reports, the ISM manufacturing numbers for PMI and employment, not to mention the JOLTS job quits. So very important jobs numbers and manufacturing numbers come out at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So be prepared, be ready. This is going to be very, very important. Now, we also have the Dallas Fed Services Index and Services Revenues Index also coming out. Then we have a bunch of Fed speakers as the day goes on, but the main time for volatility is 10 a.m. So please be prepared for all of these jobs numbers. Now, right now, the market thinks there's about a 64.3% chance we get a 25 basis point cut and about a 35.7% chance we get 50 basis points. That's what the market's pricing in, and it's very, very reasonable so far, especially after what Jerome Powell said. He helped pump the markets, but he made it very, very clear that we shouldn't be used to just 50 basis point cuts again and again and again. We have to wait and see what they do meeting by meeting, as the Fed is going to be very patient. He did continue to say that the economy is doing relatively well, things are going to be okay. He was saying that so far he's seen a lot of strength in different sectors. For employment, he did imply that once again, whether things get bad or not, the Fed is going to be prepared to take action and do whatever is necessary. But he kept on saying and kind of saving things by saying he thinks the economy is very, very strong. So that was enough to really pump these markets. That's why the market continued to hold up, because Jerome Powell remained optimistic, and he did imply the Fed will do what's necessary. So that's very, very key, at least for us so far. I didn't see anything else that was too crazy, at least for the time being on the news. As far as Tesla goes now, for Tesla news, I did see some important things. Tesla has been raising their sales in the Swedish market share, despite the fact that the labor strikes are going on. So basically, they increased their market share in Sweden in 2024, selling about 16,500 cars in Sweden in the first 9 months of the year. That's a 1% increase relative to 2023. That's despite the fact that there have been a lot of unions going on trying to blockade the ports, but Tesla found a way to basically prevent that by transporting the cars within trucks or by train. So very, very cool stuff for Tesla, and they are still doing relatively well despite the strikes that are going on. So that's the reason why I don't think that this is too negative a piece of news to really hurt the share price. There's also been some news that Gene Munster has come out and they've given their estimates for Q3. They're basically saying that Tesla may see a slight miss in deliveries. They're very credible, but they believe that it's still going to be fine because they still expect a nice 7% increase year over year. At least that's what Wall Street's expecting. They think that it's going to be, I'm sorry, a 4% year over year increase, which is still not too bad. So they're still expecting Tesla to do well. They're saying that Tesla should be doing at least 452,000 deliveries, 4% up year over year. Wall Street's expecting 6%, so they think they may miss a little bit, but they believe there's still going to be a nice growth. Anything above 436,000 is going to be fine. Whether we get 450,000, 462,000 depends on different factors. I will tell you this, the European sales are looking a little bit so-so. The Chinese sales are looking very strong. So now it depends a lot on the American sales. If American sales are strong, we could beat expectations. If not, we could be looking for a dip. So we'll see how things end up going. As far as Tesla goes from its share price, we look bullish right now. We have a nice couple structure that's forming, and it's going to continue to push higher as long as we don't lose 257. So look for 260, then 257 as our main supports. That's going to be our 20 EMA. If that fails us, we're going to be looking for basically the 252 area. So watch those supports. If we continue to break out, we're looking for basically 265 as resistance, 267, and then 270 above that. With this nice couple structure that's forming, I think there's a good chance we continue to pump. And we could slowly make our way up towards this 265 area's resistance, followed by the 270 area above that. So because we're holding our 20 EMA, I favor the upwards direction. I think we could be pushing all the way up for 265 or higher than that. So we look more bullish on Tesla. I think 270 is also on the table, but overall it's doing a very, very good job. Most likely this will attempt to push higher, but don't forget, watch for the data, see if the jobs numbers support that or not. But nonetheless, we still look bullish on Tesla. For ES is looking more bullish as we're holding our key supports very, very nicely. We're basically looking to see if we could hold our 57.71 area as our main support. If we lose 57.99, we will turn down to 57.80, by the way. If we hold that, we could attempt to go back to the high rate here. We're holding it very, very nicely. This does suggest we could be looking for 58.25 for a little bit of a push. So far looks more bullish, but whether or not that happens depends on the data, but it still looks bullish, of course. For SPY, we look more bullish. As long as we don't lose 571.66, we do favor upside direction. I think we could be looking for all-time highs to be tested at 575. If we break that, we're looking for 576. Might see a slight push in SPY as the jobs numbers come out. But if we were to hypothetically lose 571.6, we're looking for basically 570, then 568 below that. The starts favoring upside, it could be looking for a push back up towards 575 or higher. So watch and see if that ends up being the case. For NVIDIA, we look more bullish as we're holding support very, very nicely. If we were to lose 121, we're looking for 119, then 116 below that. If we hold above 121, we're looking for a big push for the 124s. So with the inverse percentage lows, we look more bullish and we do favor the upwards direction. There's a good chance we try to continue. For Bitcoin, we are looking a little bit weaker right here. So I want to say that we did attempt to rebound like we were talking about yesterday. But we have resistance at 64,200. If we break 64,400 to 64,200, that range, we could be pushing higher for the 65,000 area. If it rejects here, we could be dipping all the way down towards 62,800. So watch to see if you reject or not as you have that resistance. So that's going to be very key for us. For NQ, we have kind of like a head and shoulders like structure, but just be mindful of the fact that we're still trying to hold support. So look at 20,260 as our support. If we lose that, we're looking for basically 20,100. That's going to be our 50 EMA. If we hold this, we could try to rebound. We'll see if this holds. Might see a little push tonight, not tonight, in a couple of hours once the data comes out to about 20,400. And we'll see if we reject or not. So be very mindful of that. For the QQQ, it could attempt to go a little higher for the 490 area. But if we were to lose 486, make sure you watch 485, then 482 is our supports. We will see how things end up going, but there is most definitely potential in this nonetheless. For Apple, we're pushing it very nice. There's a slight bearish divergence, but it's okay because despite the fact that we hit 233, we came a little bit short of my 235 targets. This might dip a little bit. I could see it dipping a little bit towards 228. And I think the reason it's dipping is because we got some negative news about their electronics and also some strikes that are going on. So we could be looking for 228.92. If that fails us, we're looking for 226. It should try to bounce off one of these levels. Look for 220 and 226 as potential targets. For the IWM, we're just consolidating right here. If we hold above 220, the 20 EMA, we could try to rebound for 222. If we lose 219, we could be dipping. Otherwise, it's going to consolidate. So watch and see, do we break 220 or not? We just look kind of sideways right now. For Coinbase, we're dipping right here. We have this gap to fill, so it could be dipping to 178. If it doesn't hold, we dip lower to 174. If it does hold, we could rebound, but just be careful. I'm seeing weakness on it. For Amazon, we're just choppy right now. We're waiting to see if we lose 184 to turn bearish to the low 180s, or if we bounce and go back up to 187. Meta is trying to push higher. It's looking bullish, looking for that 580 target. If it breaks that, we're looking for 585. If it doesn't break 580, it could reject back down to 568. But so far, it looks like it's going to be testing 580 for a little bit more upside. And we'll see if it breaks. Microsoft is trying to rebound, but we have to break past 430 to turn back up. If it breaks 430, we're looking for 432. If it rejects here, we could be tipping back down towards like 426. So we're kind of stuck right now. We'll see if we break 430 or not. So be very, very patient. And for Google, we're trying to turn more bullish, looking for 170 as our resistance. If that breaks, we're looking for a bigger push all the way up towards basically this 172 area. We'll see if Google breaks that. If we reject, though, we could be dipping back down towards 166. But in my opinion, I think the 170s could break if we continue. We're just waiting for the jobs numbers. So Look for volatility once the jobs numbers end up coming out. But Tesla still looks bullish nonetheless as it's trying to push higher. So there's a good chance it tries to push. It's also the last day until deliveries come out, so please be very mindful of that. So we'll see how things go. With that being said, I thank you all so much for listening. Have a great day. I'll be back in a couple of hours for another update. Until then, I'll see you soon and peace out.